Guys, it's Donna with Pawleys Island Flowers. Sorry, I've been a little behind on my keeping up with the videos every week. I had a really busy week starting a new business, so I was just too exhausted. And then this last weekend, we just got this nor'easter that came through and it's been raining for 3 days. So I haven't been able to go out and do a whole lot, but I will show you what I have going on out in my garage. It's starting to dry out a little bit, so I'll probably have some more footage of what's happening in the gardens. But I just wanted to pop in and let you know that I did seed some more seeds. My seeds are coming up. The ones I planted 2 weeks ago are looking good. The ones from 1 week ago are just starting to pop up, and I'll go into the garage and give you a little bit of a view of how they look. I also was able to dig up some of those perennials in the beds. I had to go out there like in the rain on Friday and just try to dig up some. And then when it was just sprinkling, but when it got to raining too hard. I didn't get to finish the daisies, but I did at least get the new bed started in the front of the yard, which is really most of the work was digging out the grass. And it's not an easy job. It was a lot of digging and shaking and carting away the sod. And I really wanted to do it more, but again, I just ran out of time and it just got too wet. So I will probably continue. It's going to be sunny the rest of the week to try to do that, moving the rest of those daisies and digging out. That's my place. I also have those few in the back, just tiny plants that also have to be relocated, because what I really wanted to do this past weekend was to direct sow. I'm really glad I didn't, because we got like 5.5 inches of rain and probably most of those seeds would have been washed away. And my neighbors would have wondered why they had such beautiful flowers growing in the spring and where they came from. So it worked out great. So I am just going to get the things moved if I possibly can during the week. And then next weekend, I'm going to prep those beds up, put in some new compost and direct sow. And I got my first box of bulbs that came. I'll show you, they're out in the garage, that came from Longfield Gardens. I actually need to take them out and check them all up to make sure nothing looks really bad or spoiled or something like that, and give them a little breathing room and get them in the ground as soon as possible. So I will be planting those out into that back bed. I'm still waiting for my ranunculus corms. In fact, I need to check to see when they're coming and see if I can get to be one of the first shipments. I want to get those soaked and put out in November so that I can have those ranunculus ready to go for Valentine's Day. So I've got to go by, and it's like a hurry up. All of a sudden, everything comes in at the same time. Plus, I have my Autumn Centerpiece Workshop, which I have a few signups for. And I have a bunch of flowers that are just been sitting out in the fridge for about 2 weeks. I opened that door because I was like, these are probably no good, and they look perfect, but they're not going to last another 2 weeks. So I'm going to have to dry. I'm going to dry some of them. Some of them are the sunflowers. I know they're not as beautiful, I think, but a dried sunflower is really pretty. So I figured they're either just going to go in the trash or I'm going to try to dry them. So once the water recedes and it dries out a little bit later today, I'm going to go out and look. My cosmos were underwater and a couple things were underwater, but hopefully it's just a short time and everything does really drain quickly here because it's sand. We're at the coast. So I'm hoping I didn't really lose any plants because of the quick drainage. We have a few low spots in our yard, but luckily we're one of the ones that has a little higher lot, so we don't have to worry too much about that. But across the street, they were like 3 inches underwater, and I know she's probably going to lose some plants. You never know. Even though it wasn't considered a tropical storm, it really felt like a tropical storm. The winds were high. Our whole yard is full of just a big mass of sticks and branches and leaves and things that every time we get one of those storms that comes through, it's a lot of work to pick up all the things and do the little cleanup. Luckily, nothing big fell. Some medium-sized branches I saw around, but nothing fell on our house or anything like that. So small mercies there just to keep it. You just never know when you are gardening what kind of challenges Mother Nature will throw your way just when you think you have it all set. She'll just shake things up a little bit. And I think that's the challenge and, why it keeps it interesting when you are out there trying to grow flowers. I will see you out in the garage. I just wanted to say hello and that I am still here. It's just been a busy couple weeks, but let's move on and I'll give you a little view of what's going on with the little baby seedlings and my bulbs that came in. Okay, so here we are outside in my little plant laboratory, and these are the plants that I sowed. Some of them on 9/29. It looks like these bigger ones, and then some of the other ones on 10/5. And then I've got some down here on 10/4 and 10, looks like 10/4. You can see some of them here. Some of them are popping up, looking really nice. I've got some, I'm gonna have to move these around a little bit. They look like they're reaching. Got some stock, we got some bunny grass, we've got some calendula, some snapdragons, and some, let's see what we got down here. The Sweet Williams coming up, nothing from the echinacea. Some of the plants just take a little longer to germinate than the others. So things are going well down here. I've got another round that I'm going to do as soon as these get big enough to be moved out. These are starting to get big enough to be moved out shortly. And then I can put a few more in. I just was outside. The sun finally came out. Oh, thank gosh. It looks beautiful and sunny. It's just been rainy, and we had that weird tropical storm nor'easter that came through here. And so this is, the sun literally just came out about 10 minutes ago. So I'm here in the garage. We actually had a bunch of water that I had to sweep out. We have a low spot, and I had to sweep a bunch of water. But what I wanted to show you was some of the things that I have blooming right now that I grabbed. And these are the cosmos. These are the burgundy cosmos. I have quite a few cosmos, actually. They looked really nice. I love the greenery of the Cosmo. It's very full and ferny, and it really makes a little pretty addition into the bouquets. I still have some snapdragons that look really nice. These yellow ones, hopefully you can see. I should have turned the light on in here. There we go. Pretty snapdragons out there, still going. A few of these sunflowers and a few zinnias that I've got left. This is one of those dark ones. I'm just gonna strip the leaves off these, put them into a jar, and bring them into the house, but I wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on here. And as far as what's blooming out here, like I told you in the earlier thing, that I did dig out all of this yarrow. So I've got an empty bed here, and the other thing I'm gonna take out is gonna be all of those daisies. And honestly, I think I'm gonna move these strawberries. They've been here for years and they do really well, but they are taking up quite a bit of space. Like I could have a whole row of something else in here, pulling some weeds. And so I think I'm gonna just take these up and put them in the backyard. They should be easy to take out. So I've got to work on that. It really would be nice to do it right now while the sun's out. Here I've still got peppers and a little bit of sunflowers, some marigolds, and then here are the patch of cosmos, which really looks great. Oh, I have some more yarrow here that I forgot about. I'm trying to move all the yarrow to the front, and then there's a few more daisies on the back side here. I'll show you where I put them. All right, so here is the box that came from Longfield Gardens. I'm not ordering on the scale where I need to do like a wholesale order yet. So this actually was a pretty big order for me for bulbs, because I haven't really done much with bulbs. So I'm looking to see what I have. These are my anemones. I got the St. Bridget Mount Everest White. They were a last minute add-on. I wasn't gonna do them, and then I thought, what the heck? So I'm actually looking through this order to make sure everything looks good. And oops, I just pulled my microphone off my shirt here. All right, let me see if I can hook it back on here. All right, let's see what I have next. I have white freesia, something I have never grown before, but they look like small, like little daffodil bulbs, or like little tulip bulbs, but they're small, almost like onions. So I've got that, and then I have freesia double pink, 25 count and another 25 count. Again, these are going to be for my, hopefully, Valentine's Day flowers. I'm going to do them early enough and hope that it all works out. Here is something else, another one of the St. Bridget. I must have got 50 of these. There's another white anemone. To go back and check my order form to see what I actually ordered. Actually, I think this might be it here, but no, let's see. It looks like I only got one of the Mount Everest, but it looks like they gave me two. Well, let's see what else is in here. I'll have to go back and look at my order. So these are a big pack of daffodil bulbs, which are 75 count. These are the double tahini. I did a lot of research on which daffodils are going to look beautiful, which ones do well in the heat, and which ones flower at which time. And these look like really nice bulbs. They all look pretty good. I'll have to look a little closer, but they're a good size. They look healthy. They don't look like there's mold or rot or anything on them. They look really good. And they should be a lot bigger and a lot better than the ones that you would get from like Home Depot or like a local garden center. These are actually from a grower. All right, this is the also 75 count of the double white lion. So I think they're both doubles. Yeah, I decided to go with doubles because they just, I don't want the daffodils to look too plain. I want these to be something that people are not seeing in their garden already. And so I decided to go with the Tahiti, which has like a orange, it's like a orange middle, and the double flower, like a little ruffle. And then these are the white, which are really pretty. Just something simple and easy. My first year growing, I have definitely grown daffodils over the years, and I can see some double bulbs inside here, which is really nice. They're already like splitting, which is how they do. So these look really nice and healthy. So I've got 75 of these, 75 of these. I've got the white freesia, I've got the pink freesia, and then I have the white anemones, which looks like I got two, which I don't have to let them know they send me an extra one. They'll probably say great, which is fine. So these anemones are shriveled up, but when they get, I think you soak these. I soak the ranunculus. I don't remember if I soaked anemones or not. It's been 2 years since I've planted them. But anyway, I wanted to go in here and look and spread these out, give them a little bit of breathing room. They came in this box a couple days ago, and it had been storming outside, so I didn't want to do anything with them. But I got these from Longfield Gardens, and the price was very reasonable compared to some of the other places that I was looking. And since I wasn't doing 600 bulbs or something, I just went with ones that looked reputable and were affordable for what I'm trying to do. So that's a look at what I'm going to be planning for the daffodils. I'm still waiting for my ranunculus to come. In fact, I'm going to check on them. They should be getting shipped, and they come from North Carolina up in the Asheville area because I've ordered from them before at Flourish. And I've got, I think, 50 or 75 ranunculus coming. I've got some other ranunculus around here that I have to actually look to see if I'm going to dig those up or if I'm going to put them in the ground as well. They've gotten eaten up by rabbits. I'll have to see what I have, but I treat them as you got to replant them every year, but we may get a few that will come back. So anyway, all right, on to the I wanted to show you the bees all over the goldenrod. So this is in its full bloom right now in this field, and it is just covered in bees. The bees like live on here. They sleep on here. I think they're drunk. Some of them are starting to get a little spent. And oops, looks like I have a pretty zinnia out here that needs a little trim. And I got a little bit of my sedum that's coloring up here that I might be able to put into some. Oh, I just noticed here I've got some of the amaranthus. Yay! I didn't know if this was going to do anything. I planted these seeds out in the summer and they haven't really done much, but it looks like I am going to get the amaranthus little flower spikes. There's a few here, and that's all I really need as I'm doing my pumpkin workshop. And then there's a few dahlias still left that are still cranking it out here. I don't know how much longer they'll go, but hopefully you can see how many bees are on this right now. Just like cover, there must be 20 bees on this one goldenrod. Even if I don't use them all, I love the fact that I've got all these great bees all over it, loving it and using it for their pollination. And I feel like I'm doing my part. What I did over here in the front was extend this, or make a little bed, and it was done in the rain, so I probably have to come back and clean it up a little bit. But I'm going to go behind and dig out more and swirl it all the way around probably come out back into this big holly tree that I have over here. So I'm gonna get the rest of the yarrow and the daisies. The daisies are gonna go behind the yarrow because they're a little bit taller. And I've got a few yarrows from the backyard that I've got to bring out here. So I may work on this week. It's supposed to be beautiful. It always usually is once the storm leaves. And this does get afternoon sun, so I'm hoping they will do okay out here. And just opening up another place to plant. All right, until next week, I hope you have a good week, and I will see you then.